Woo! Good Sunday morning, friends. Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo, as well as Joe Bear in the house. And as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. It's week number 6 in the NFL. One of those precious game day Sundays that our team will be playing, and not just a regular game. This is for the marbles here right now. This is for bragging rights. This is who is real and who is not. And I couldn't be more excited. I love game day. I was actually here cleaning up the man cave light last night, so about 11 o'clock. I was prepping food and things. I got 4 pounds of ribeye sliced real thin by hand that was marinating overnight for our steak and cheese sub. I got my big sub and everything. Got the chicken wings ready to go. And in about 5 hours from now, we'll be live streaming. Rashid will be here. We'll be watching the New York Stinking Giants rolling through the 4 o'clock games on to the big game. Wow. All the off season, listening to Eagle fans that were telling us how bad we are, listening to the talking heads, how bad we are, how we haven't helped our team and the window's closed and this, that, and the other. And here we are battling for first place in what might be, surprisingly, one of the best divisions in football. Whew. So let's get to the news this morning. According to Ian Rappaport, that Dak Prescott is not going to be playing tonight, that he's had a great week of actually spinning the football and doing well. The hope is that he'll be able to start practicing fully on Wednesday, actually taking snaps from under center, actually doing all of the reps and so on. So today it will be Cooper Rush. At least that's what we're told, unless, again, this is the great deception. Semi Fioco and Rico Dowdle have been put on injured reserve, and brought up is Jalen Tolbert. From what we've been hearing, he's been looking really, really good in practice and could be a weapon. We still don't know what happened with CeeDee Lamb on his hip. He'll be playing. We don't know if he's going to be slowed, limited, and so on and so forth. But going into this game, here's what's funny to me. You can look back at the Dallas Cowboys, and throughout Tony Romo's career, we didn't have great offensive line. We did in 2007. But for the most part, after that, Tony Romo got his teeth kicked in on a regular because the offensive line was not good. And then the Cowboys drafted Tyron Smith and Travis Frederick and Zach Martin. And we went through a period of about 5 years where we had the best offensive line in football. We were able to run the ball like crazy. Unfortunately, it was too late for Tony Romo's career. It was the epiphany for the Cowboys to realize you couldn't just go ahead and get bargain basement guys and throw them in and say you're an offensive lineman. You need real offensive linemen, and that philosophy has filtered through. And the Cowboys realize that. The thing is, the opposite of that, they didn't realize. For years, if you've watched me, I've been on the table with wanting the Cowboys to get true defensive linemen. Their philosophy has always been, if you're an edge rusher, you can play tackle. Tyrone Crawford was a tweener. He was not really fast enough to be that edge rusher like a Micah Parsons that can bend the edge. And he wasn't really big enough to be a defensive tackle. He didn't have enough, weight in the ass to really be able to hold it up. He could play both of them, but he was never great at either of them. And that's been the problem for the Cowboys. They haven't invested capital in actually getting a defensive line. They tried in 2020. They went old school, Gerald McCoy and Emerson Griffin and Don Terry Poe, but these guys were over the hill and so on and weren't the model that we needed. Finally, with Dan Quinn, he recognized he's got a certain set of guys with a certain set of skills that he wants. For the first time, in forever, seeing them actually draft a Quentin Bohannon and trying to get a John Ridgeway, getting an OC and Digazua, guys that are tall, lengthwise, fast, very, very physical in the middle, because we've always had great edge rushers. We've always done great there, but we've been soft in the middle where we couldn't stop the run, where we couldn't get pressure in the middle, and an Aaron Rodgers would just step up in the pocket and let the guys wash past them. But I don't think you guys realize, as we're in the love fest with Cooper Rush, and I do not take this the wrong way. Do not take this the wrong way, because people immediately will say, well, Mark Holmes just doesn't like Cooper Rush. Cooper Rush is a winner. Yes, the team is winning. But have you ever seen, if you are a Trekkie, okay, back in the day, the original Star Trek, there was one episode called Mirror, Mirror. And what happened is there were all these alternate universes, and they got caught up in one of these alternate universes where Captain Kirk and Spock were evil. They were the polar opposite of what we were used to, Spock had that beard and goatee. He had the goatee and all that, right? And he was evil. He wasn't stupid, I don't think, but he was evil. And so things were reversed to what we were used to. And I don't think people understand that that's where we kind of are now. We are almost in the polar opposite of what we have been in the past. Because in the past, it's always been the Dallas Cowboys, great offense, and the defense was kind of an afterthought. We would be good, very rarely were we a team that you looked at and said need to rebuild without losing, unless we lost the quarterback. We'd lose Tony Romo or Dak and things, and what would happen is the team would go down to crap. This is the alternate universe. We lose Dak Prescott and the team doesn't go to crap. Why is that? Because we're in that alternate universe where this defense is something that we haven't had before. This defense, I don't think you understand. I was going through the numbers this morning from 2010 to 2022. When you look at this defense right now, 2010 to 2021, the most sacks we had in a season were 42. Some of those years we're in the 20s. There's a 28, there's a 20. There was actually a 20. Can you believe that? 20. I'm sorry, that's in this year. There's a 28, there's a 30, a 31. There's the most was 42. Interceptions wise, some of those years we had 7, 9, 9, 7. As we sit here right now, today, this defense has 21 sacks. They have 5 interceptions. That puts them on pace right now for 17 interceptions on the season. Not a record for them, but basically, if you take out last year, the second highest that they've had. Sack-wise, depending on some places have us at 21, Pro Football Reference has us at 20. If we go with the 20, we're on pace for 68 sacks. 68 sacks. When your previous high with DeMarcus Ware was 42. We're talking about 26 more sacks on pace for this year. This is where this truly is the difference. It used to be the offense. If we can have ball control, if we can run the ball, we can run out the clock, and we can protect the defense, keep them off the field. That's what we used to have to say. This team is now led by the defense. It's the polar opposite. The offense is now the redheaded stepchild. You've got the number 3 scoring defense in football. Our offense is not towing the load right now. And, if Cooper Rush is the guy, by all means, I'd love him to be. I don't care who it is that gets us a Super Bowl. I don't care if it's Jerry Jones's grandson. I just want a damn Super Bowl. But I hate to say it, our scoring offense at 24 is not going to cut it. It's not going to cut it. Defense, it's great. Special teams are improved, but we can't survive with 24th rated offense. We are going to have to score more points, and that starts today against the Eagles. If we do not score more points than what we've been doing, and we're going, and make no mistake about it, we are going into a place right now that is in a feeding frenzy, that believes that they're going to go wire to wire undefeated, that they are a Super Bowl caliber team, and the only thing that stands in their way, and we may be the toughest games on their schedule. And if they can destroy the Cowboys, get into that psyche, maybe they could roll on there. This game is huge. We're playing with house money, as I've been saying for a couple of weeks. You know, after we got the win in Cincinnati, we looked at it and said, hey, you know, we got the Rams and stuff, and if we could split the Rams with the, you know, the Giants and the Washington games, and, you know, maybe if we can win against the Rams or the Eagles and lose one of those, then we're still looking maybe at 6-2 going to the bye week, you know. Right now, we're there. Even if we lose this game, we could be 6-2 going to the bye week. And going into the season, if somebody said to you, you were playing Tampa Bay, Cincinnati, the Rams, and the Eagles in the first 8 games, and you'd be 6-2, you'd be like, hell yes. If you win this one and have 3 victories in the division, that's huge. So the Cowboys have everything to gain and really nothing to lose. And let's listen to, because I've got to get up here and get the chili started. Got to get the outdoor set going right now. It's a little cloudy this morning. There's a chance of some rain this evening, sprinkles and stuff, so I got to be prepared for it. But, you know, we got to get the set ready. But let's listen to Speak for Yourself. Shout out to David Heisman, who is a fixture now in Fox Sports. You know, he's kind of the antithesis to Acho. Let's listen. There's everything there. It's not the end of the world if it's not. But, man, let's dream. The Eagles, they have all the advantages. They're going to have the crowd there for them. They've got Hurts and crew that are all feeling good. They brought in all the free agents and things. And we have the little old Dallas Cowboys that are coming to town, you know, with their hopes and dreams right there. I hope you guys tune in. We'll be kicking off in about 4.5 hours from now. And I hope actually about 4 hours from now, we'll be kicking off. And I've got a whole bunch of cooking and stuff to do. I appreciate each and every one of you guys, and I will see you soon.
Our folks here, and as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the show for the Sports Report.
I didn't get open for business. Oh, my goodness.